Welcome to another episode, WingYTB. Today, as you can see, we in the studio, the kitchen, and we're gonna be showing you how to make the Zamen Ramen. Now, if you like me, this December has been rough. I've been paying for car payments I didn't want to pay for. I've been paying for presents I didn't want to give to people. I've been paying for bills that, I guess I need, but it's whatever. I didn't want to pay for them, and I don't got no money left. Look, I need something that's delicious and cheap, and I got the go-to food for that. It's my Zamen Ramen. So let me go and show you what we're gonna need to make this $1.50 food. Alright, so here's what we got. First off, I'm gonna go with the pork because it's the main ingredient. You got your pork cutlet, that's like $1, alright? If you can get it by a single, it's $1. If you have to go and buy like 4 of them, that's gonna be $3.50. It's still $1 if you take it one by one, alright? Second off, you got 2 eggs. That's like 10 cents each, man, 10 cents. Eggs are cheap, alright? Next, I use seasoned salt, alright? Because this mess is easy to use. But if you don't got that in your pantry, you just got your standard salt and pepper, you use it. We just trying to season up this pork a little bit before we put it into the ramen. Sambo Oleg chili paste. This is what I got because it's spicy. Now, if you don't got this, don't worry about it. You go into your pantry, you find the hot sauce that you got in your pantry. You use that. You gotta go to Taco Bell and see the hot sauce packets. That's all you do. I don't care. You just get something spicy. Last, look, beef flavored ramen. I know what you're thinking. Wait, we're using a pork chop. Don't you want to use, the pork flavored ramen? No. No. Look at me. Look at me. Beef. Now, if you bougie, if you got money, look, you get yourself some green onions. You go and you get those sauce packets that you stole from the Chinese. Oh, I just threw one down the sink. Yo, I legit lost it. Oh, there it is. Okay, hold on. Let me put this down real quick. Anyway, once you fished out your soy sauce packet from the sink. Again, green onions and mushrooms, that's gonna make your ramen taste real nice. But again, if you don't got that money, don't worry about it. Just skip those parts when I'm cooking. Again, this is supposed to be $1.50 ramen, not a bougie $5 ramen. It's whatever money you got, we're gonna make it taste like that kind of money. Again, this is the recipe. 1 pork chop, the main ingredient, beef ramen, 2 eggs, something spicy, something seasoning-y. That's not a word, but you know what I'm talking about. And that's how you get your Zamen Ramen on the roll. Let's get it onto the stove now. Alright, now look. After you got your second apron on, you're going to need to take all 3 skills that you learned from cooking toast with your mom in the 8th grade because you're going to be multitasking like mad. You need a pot. 4 cups of water in this pot. Turn that mess on to high. Get yourself a pan with a little bit of size to it. Turn that mess on to like maybe medium low. That's what I'm thinking. Medium low might be good enough. You need a second pot. If you thought I was gonna put my ramen noodles into the same pot as my broth, you're out your mind. This might be cheap, yes, but we're making it professionally. You don't put the ramen noodles with the broth. You cook it separate. Now, stand a knife. Where'd I put that knife? There's that knife.
Give him your wallet.
What for?
He's got a knife.
Now look, this is easy. All you do, you take your seasoned salt. That's what I'm using. Again, if you're using salt and pepper, you do whatever you need to do. All you do on one side, get it on there, get it, yeah boy, rub it in. I know it's kind of weird. You touching the pores, like I don't like how it feels. Get over it. Flip it, get it again. Rub it in. Start cutting it real thin, real thin. And that, my friends, is how I escaped prison 3 times in a row. Anyway, as you can see, my water is almost boiling at this point, which is great. I'm gonna go and get my beef ramen. That's how you open up a ramen packet, in case you're wondering. I'm gonna move this on top of my mushrooms for right now. Take out the seasoning, put it into the pot. Don't worry about stirring it just yet. Take your pork. You should have had your pot, pan, can't say my words. You should have had this on medium high. Scoop. Bam. Get yourself a spatula. And you're gonna cook this mess halfway. You might be thinking, what do you mean halfway? Legit, it should still be a little bit pink. Now that might sound a little bit weird to you, But what we're basically gonna do is we're gonna throw this mess right into the broth once it's done. All right, now look at this look. Look at this look. You see how it's a little bit pink? That's good. That's all right. You see how some sides kind of white, again, kind of a little bit cooked? That's good. That's what you want. I'm gonna throw that right into the ramen. Throw it right in. That's gonna cook your pork. It's gonna get you some more flavor into pork, and all that flavor that was on the pork is not gonna get into your ramen. Put that back on the stove. Don't let it cool down because we're about to cook the mushrooms. If you're not cooking mushrooms, just skip this part. Don't worry about it. Before we get to that though, get your spicy. Whatever you got that's spicy, get it out. If you got the hot sauce, get that out. It don't matter. You're just gonna take a small amount, all right? This is my small amount, okay? That's how much I use when I'm using this mess. You use the equivalent amount of hot sauce. It don't matter too much. Just pour it in. Get your spatula. Stir it around. We're gonna take our mushrooms real quick. I'm gonna take this a handful. Just kind of throw them on there. That's a good enough amount. All right. Get those soy sauce packets that you stole from the Chinese place, or at least they gave it to you. You don't even know at this point. They just been in your pantry for so long. You said you were going to use them at some point. Now you are. Pour that on there. I'm just going to use one. I don't think I really need two of them. That's going to get too much sodium. You know, we already got the ramen in there cooking. That's a lot of sodium to begin with. We just put more onto the pork. That's a lot of sodium. We just put some soy sauce on the mushrooms. If you care about your sodium here, don't make this recipe. But if you like me, who doesn't care and doesn't have the money to care, you're gonna make it this way because it's gonna taste good, and that's all that matters. Now you're gonna leave these for a second. Here's why you're gonna leave them. You're gonna get out your green onion. I probably just broke an egg doing that. It's okay. We're gonna use it eventually anyway. Get out your green onion. Completely omit the fact that you just use this knife to cut the pork. Who cares at this point? Again, make sure your mushrooms ain't overcooking. Like I said, you're gonna be multitasking with this one. Flip them around. So see, they kind of cooking a little bit too much on one side. You flip on the other side real quick. Once you got your mushrooms cooked, get them onto a plate. Get them onto a plate. Don't turn off that heat though. You know why? Because we're about to use that. Now here we're gonna get our second pot. Again, we're going fast through this. Get your second pot filled up with water. You're gonna be making your ramen in this. You don't need. You figure out how much water you need for your pots and pans for this one. Turn it to high and wait for that to cook. Get another plate. You might want one a little bit bigger than this. Scoop out all those porks. By the time you finish your mushrooms, finish up cutting the green onions, your pork is done. Once you got your pork, looks delicious, looks good, looks tender, put it to the side. We're gonna turn this to now maybe medium low. Once you got your pot of water kind of starting to boil a little bit, it's starting to get there, you're gonna take your 2 eggs now. This is where you get your 2 eggs. This is how I do it. You can decide how you wanna do it with your eggs. The only point is that you get them in there somehow. You get your first egg, crack it, put it in. And then what you're gonna do, once you throw it out, is you're gonna just stir that mess up. You're gonna like scramble it inside the water. You're just gonna scramble it, boy. You're gonna get your second egg, and here's how I do it. Again, you do it however you wanna do it. I separate the yolk. Now this works perfectly because at this point, your other pot of water should be boiling. Get that ramen, put it into the other pot of water. Set it for 3 minutes. I just kind of know it's gonna take 3 minutes. I got a clock over here looking. We're gonna wait for 3 minutes. Your egg's still gonna be cooking. Leave it alone. Just let it cook. Let it sit. All right, now look, I got on the 4th and final apron for this final test. All right, make sure your ramen's kind of cooked. Now you're gonna notice I didn't break up my ramen when I put it in there. Don't break it up. If you ever go to a real ramen place, you will never see them breaking up the ramen into little pieces like that. They don't do it. All right, it's been 2.5 minutes at this point. 2.5 minutes. I like my ramen a little bit firm. You might want them a little bit squishier. It's whatever. Take it. We're gonna move over to the sink with this. If you have a strainer, a colander, whatever you want to call it, you put this ramen into there. Me, I don't care about that. That's too much work. Now I will tell you, once upon a time, I did flush a whole pot of ramen down this drain, and it made me cry a little bit. It really made me cry. I was sad, but. I wish I could say that was scripted. I really wish I could. Anyway, after you cried a little bit, you're gonna take that ramen, you're gonna put cold water. Cold water. Now this is gonna stop the cooking process. You don't want it to cook anymore. Shake it up. Make sure it's getting cool. Get yourself a big bowl. You need a big bowl for this one. Realize that you don't got no more big bowls left. Go into the dishwasher, take out the big bowl that's already been used. Notice how nasty it is. Clean that mess off real quick. Don't put it in your ramen noodles though. You know how you just have these videos where you really think you're gonna do really well, and then like you start making jokes, and then things start happening in the video that people are like, oh man, he scripted that. He scripted a dirty bowl. But then you realize, no, he didn't script that dirty bowl. He legit just did not clean his bowls. He wasn't ready for this video. All right, good enough. You got your bowl after cleaning it off. Here's how you do it. Here's the master plan. You got all 4 aprons. You have to do this right. Get your spatula. Get your pot of broth. Now look at that pot. Look at all that's in there. I know it's steamy, but all that egg, you won't be able to eat that. That's delicious. Pour it in. Pour it in. Now this is gonna be like the present underneath everything. This is like when you finish all the ramen and all the meat and all the vegetables, you still got stuff left in the bowl. And that to me is beautiful. That's beautiful to me. Anyway, you got your broth in. Next, you get your ramen noodles. Get your ramen, it's cool, so you can put your hands right in. You want your noodles in one section. We do this all in sections. One section is your noodles. One section is your pork. One section is your mushrooms. And look, you get all that mushroom juice in there. And then finally, one section for the green, for the extra color, is gonna be the green onions. And now if that don't look like the closest you can get to a professional bowl of ramen to you, then you got your expectations really too high for your budget, because I ain't never had a more delicious bowl than this. That's another episode from WingYTB. If you tried this recipe and you liked it, this Zamen Ramen recipe, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment below saying, dang, that Zamen Ramen was banging. And I'll see you in the next video. It was good. I swear to God. Hey, let me get some of that.
Get some of that. Stop
Man,
doing
come on,
it.
man. You got one chance to share. All right.
Stop it.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. Get got, boy.